Oh my god. Today we got so much to cover to the point I'm actually not sure what to start with. But trust me, I'm gonna show you guys every single detail and I'm gonna show you guys every hidden info, so just follow me. First of all, we have Buffies, which is a new ability that will change the game. Some huge brawler reworks, new balance changes, new skins, and more. Before we talk about Buffies, we need to first talk about the brawler reworks. Yes, now we can actually aim with that green button. It's a huge change. Alright, let's first talk about the Colt. His first gadget is getting reworked. Now he fires 2 quick shots, and it also slows the targets. I mean, he will no longer deal an insane amount of damage in the safe, but I think this one might be more useful in general. His second gadget is unchanged, but now you can aim your gadget and shoot wherever you want. Shelly's first gadget is also unchanged, but now you can aim your gadget and choose the direction you want. Her second gadget, on the other hand, is pretty much the same, but now you can only focus your shots 3 times per activation, which can be considered a nerf, but it's kinda a buff at the same time because you can now switch back to the normal shots during the activation and use your focus shots anytime you want. So that means you can make more unpredictable plays, if that makes sense. Like you can swap your basic attack and your gadget attack anytime you want. So like it's kinda hard for the opponents to predict what kind of attack that Shell is gonna use, you know? I hope that makes sense. Spike is basically a different brawler now. His first gadget can now be aimed and fires a wave of needles that can deal a maximum of 6,000 damage, only if you hit all of them, of course. So yeah, just like the Colt, he no longer can deal an insane amount of damage in the safe. This is now more useful when you try to finish a kill, and he's obviously really strong against the assassin, you know? His second gadget is pretty much the same, but now you can throw the cactus. So you can basically use it not just for yourself, but also for your teammates. Which is honestly a pretty good change, you know? If you auto-aim your gadget though, it will just work like the old gadget, so yeah. His first star power is also getting reworked. Now you can heal whenever your super deals damage, which is like 400 per super hit. You don't heal them much though compared to the old first star power, but now you don't need to use it on yourself. You can heal from anywhere as long as your super is dealing damage, you know? Alright, now let's talk about the Mortis. His first gadget is now aimable. It also has a little bit of range, so you can kind of throw his shovel in any direction, and most importantly, now it goes through the walls, which can be really broken considering it has only 10 seconds of cooldown. His second gadget is also getting reworked. You can now turn into Batch and travel to a target location. What's broken about this is that you can go through the walls, so you can escape so easily. It's like a mini Shade super, I guess. But it has a 24 seconds of cooldown, so yeah, I mean, this one definitely makes sense because it's kinda broken. His first star power is also getting reworked. Now, whenever he kills an enemy, he heals 20% of his max health, which should be 1600, I think. Alright, what about Frank? Now you can aim with your first gadget. It's pretty much the same, but you can also fire a sound wave, which can deal 1200 damage. So yeah, just some extra damage. It doesn't cancel someone's super or anything, just some extra damage. On the other hand, his second gadget is basically the same concept. You still pull the enemies towards yourself, but now you can aim your gadget and it has a much longer range. I don't know if I like this one, to be honest. Like, I like the old gadget more because it was a lot more simple and fun, but I guess we'll see. Lastly, Ems is also getting a small rework. Her first gadget is now aimable, and she can also push enemies back in any direction you want. Her second gadget is also aimable and can go through the walls. We're gonna finally talk about the Buffies. The new ability. It's a pretty simple concept. Like what the Buffies do is basically they buff the star powers, gadgets, and the hypercharges. Which means each brawler gets 3 different Buffies, and you can equip all 3 Buffies at the same time, which is kinda like something I don't like. Like it's gonna break the game, obviously. But yeah, you can unlock the Buffies you want with the gems right away. But if you wanna buy with coins and power points, you're gonna get a random Buffy. So you might not be able to get the one you want. So yeah, it's kinda like a luck system. If you have gems though, you can just buy whatever you want, I think. Alright, first let's talk about the Colt. Gadget Buffy. His first gadget can now also steal 1 ammo. Since he fires 2 shots, he can steal up to 2 ammo. For his second gadget, he can now shoot a larger bullet that deals more damage, but no. I don't think this destroys more environment just cause it's bigger bullet. It just deals more damage, that's all. Star Power Buffy. His first star power gains the movement speed when dealing damage, and his second star power deals more damage to the distant targets. Just like how the Piper's main attack works, you know? Hypercharge Buffy. Now he can fire bullets quicker during the hypercharge. So if it buffies and you use the hypercharge, basically your main attack also gets buffed. Alright, next we got Shelly. Gadget Buffy. Her first gadget now takes no damage while dashing, so it's kinda like a max gadget, you know? So it can be really broken if you know how to use it. Like, I feel like Shelly's gonna be kinda meta. For her second gadget, her attacks now slow down the enemies, and the slow duration increases with each hit. Star Power Buffy. Her first star power now also leaves a burning area with her super and can deal up to 1280 damage. For her second star power, when the star power is activated, she gains 15% movement speed for 3 seconds. Hypercharge Buffy. Her main attack projectile speed is greatly increased. Okay, now we're gonna talk about Spike. Gadget Buffy. His first gadget can now also root enemies if he hit at least 2 out of 5 needles. Which is honestly insane because you can just walk up, use the gadget, and stun the enemies to get an instant kill. For his second gadget, when his cactus gets destroyed, it deals area damage and pushes enemies back. This can work super well against the assassin, you know? Star Power Buffy. For his first star power, his super is gonna travel faster. For his second star power, the curved shots now have extended range. Which honestly seems hella annoying, bro. Hypercharge Buffy. His main attack now splits twice, which can boost his damage by a lot. Alright, I know you've been waiting for this moment. Gadget Buffy. His first gadget can now deal more damage to low health enemies. For his second gadget, he can now deal damage when passing through the enemies, and heals for the damage dealt. Star Power Buffy. His first star power gains additional max health until he's defeated. This one can stack. So for example, if you kill like 5 enemies, you gain 2500 HP, which means you will have more than 10,000 HP in total. And it keeps going if you get more kills. For his second star power, he gains 40% damage reduction during his long dash, which will change a lot of interactions, trust me. Hypercharge Buffy. After he uses a main attack, his phantom attack hits the same area after a delay. Alright, so we got 2 more brawlers to talk about. We're gonna go with the Frank first. Gadget Buffy. His first gadget will also destroy the enemy's projectiles, which is quite insane because it can destroy the multiple projectiles, not just a single one. Basically, every shot coming into his gadget will get destroyed. So yeah, this one is really cool, I'm not gonna lie. For his second gadget, enemies will be slowed for a short time when they get hit, so it's gonna help Frank to deal more damage. Star Power Buffy. For the first star power, when he defeats a brawler, he can now also heal for a short time. It's a lot of healing. For his second star power, he's gonna take 15% less damage when he's above 50% health, which is honestly really solid as well. Hypercharge Buffy. His main attack speed is going to be increased to the maximum, just like when he's a low HP, you know? Lastly, we got Ems. Gadget Buffy. Her first gadget can knock enemies back further and stun them for a short time if they get knocked into the wall. Like, bro almost becomes Gale. It's pretty insane and going to be a bit harder to counter her now. For her second gadget, she's gonna slow enemies on hit. Yeah, pretty straightforward. I think it'll be good against some mid-range brawlers like Sandy, you know, and maybe some tanks. Star Power Buffy. When you hit enemies with her main attack, her first star power reduces the damage dealt by enemies by 15% for 4 seconds. For her second star power, she takes no damage for 1 second when activating her super. So yeah, this one has some crazy potential if you know how to use it at the right time. Hypercharge Buffy. Her main attack will also poison enemies. Yeah, better than nothing, I guess. That's all. Wait, actually no. We have some balance changes. Alright, let's talk about the buffs. Larry and Lurry are getting a buff. Just a simple hypercharge rate buff by 17%. I mean, this one definitely makes sense, and Larry will probably be hella good in the next meta. Colt is also getting a buff, but this one is more like a reward, since his epic gear is getting removed. He's gonna get an 8% real speed buff, so now, since you don't need to equip the epic gear, you're just gonna use the shield and maybe damage. Spike is also getting the same treatment. His super slow amount is being buffed by 15%, which is nice since his mythic gear is getting removed. Pearl is also getting a buff. Now it takes only 9 seconds to reach the max hit, which is super nice. She was only used in passive modes like knockout or bounty, but now we can probably see her in aggressive mode as well. Gigi Gigi is getting 2 different buffs. Yeah, she's been quite underwhelming ever since she's got released. She's getting 20% damage buff as well as the main attack speed boost by 100%. So yeah, she used to lack damage, but now I think I can see her being a decent brawler. She's also getting a hypercharge. Her super deals damage when appearing at a target location as well as when she's returning. So basically she can deal 6300 damage instantly by just spamming the red button. So yeah, it's gonna be really broken. Alright, time to talk about nerfs. Meeple is getting a hypercharge rate nerf by 25%. Well deserved. It might be still broken, but let's hope not. Pam is also getting a nerf. Her hypercharge charge rate is also getting nerfed by 33%. She's been hella good, especially in the recent World Finals, so not really surprised. Juju is also getting a hypercharge rate nerf by 25%. Yeah, it was pretty easy to get a hypercharge compared to the other throwers like, Larry. So this one is a good nerf. Otis is getting a supercharge rate nerf by 11%. I think it's still gonna be a S tier brawler, so yeah. Mina is getting a 3% HP nerf, which is really nice. And her bow's gadget cooldown is going to be increased by 2 seconds. I mean, honestly though, I really suck at Mina, so I'm not sure about this. But I know pro players love to play Mina, and the good Mina can actually carry the game, so yeah, definitely makes sense. Be sure to subscribe for the new brawler sneak peek. I'll see you guys tomorrow.